Hey guys, Jeff here for One Fish, Two Fish. Trying a bit of a different way to do some videos for you guys today. If they suck, let me know in the comments below so we don't do it this way again. We got yelled at because we keep holding our phones the wrong way. As you can tell, we just started kind of doing this. So we went out and picked up a camera that we don't know if it's any good or not. So we're gonna try a couple like this. We've got I wanna show you guys the new saltwater setup that we have been ridiculously waiting on. It has been a lot longer than it just took a long time. By the time we got the stands all built, by the time we had the tanks actually built and shipped, there was a lot of them. Anyway, it just took a lot more time than we had hoped, but they are here now. They're sort of set up. Tanks are all in place. The lights are all set up and ready. The sumps are all where they're gonna go. They look okay. They're just not plumbed. So we're about a third of the way through plumbing them. We've got 5 systems back there. I'm gonna show them all to you. And then we've got 1.5 running. One is running right now. It's fully ready. The other one is very close to ready. And then the other 2 or 3, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll tell you when I get back there. They're kind of not even started yet. There's some outline work that has been done for them, but there's no water or nothing in them yet. So let's go and take a look at what we got. So this is them. So this is obviously the system that is running. We've got power heads in each one. These are just kind of Joe Blow power heads. They're just stuff that we had lying around the shop to spin water around. We are putting power heads in each one. They were just, like I said, mixed for salt and to get the water moving. So each one of these tanks is 100 gallons. So this system will be 600 gallons in total. As you can see, all the returns are spitting out water. The returns are not, we're still waiting for our lock line for those. Likely going to arrive Monday or Tuesday. And then we have drains on them all. But we are putting actual, and you can see a couple of them do have decent lines on them, but we're actually putting much better lines on them. We've got just generic kind of LED lights on each one. And then this is the sump back here. So it all gets drained into this. We've got 2 7-inch filter socks. We've got some heaters that are not plugged in. They're just kind of sitting there. We've got a big brick of Marine Pure. Very much not enough for this whole system. We have more on the way, but it's just in there to kind of get it started. And then a pump, pumping it all back up. So basically the whole system is very similar. It is just bulk of each one, you know, plumbing and all, everything drains, all the returns. So everything drains into there. All of our drains run off of one kind of manifold type thing, except the bottom row. The bottom row, it's so close to the floor with the sump that we plumb the bottom tanks directly in. And then they just go through the filter sock, they go through here. This will be where the skimmer also will be. This will be where the heater is. And then it gets back here and it gets pumped back up. So again, the reason we had done this, was a lot of the way we were doing it. I'm trying to get under here. The way we were doing this was one very large system. Obviously we had more than one, but it was too many tanks on one separate thing, and it was causing us too much. Anytime we bring in a new order from a different part of the world, anything that was, so when we bring in stuff from Indonesia, and then there'd be stuff from, say, Sri Lanka, or, you know, different spots, we would always run into different issues that we shouldn't run into. Obviously, disease from different parts of the world affects fish differently. If you have a fish that has lived its whole life in a certain ocean, has dealt with kind of everything that ocean has, when you move it to another spot, if there is different kinds of disease to it, it does tend to go through that fish a little quicker, and it does make it a little harder to treat and less likely that you're able to save the fish. So we did this for a handful of reasons. One, the old stuff we had here was I don't want to say it was garbage for a store. You know, it wasn't as nice as it should have been. So we swapped them out for these. The lighting in the old systems, it sucked. It was constantly driving us nuts. So we swapped that out, and the lighting on these is much better. And we were just able to do a much better kind of whole start job from 1 to 2, adding bulkheads or adding power heads to every one, which again we could have done with the other system, but it was trying to make something that had some kind of pretty big flaws. It was trying to, you know, fix it up by painting it, but you know, it still had some stuff that we didn't like at the end. So when this is done, we are going to have, for just this wall system, now this is one of 1, 2, 3, 4, this is one of 6 kind of setups we have here. So this one section itself is over 2,000 gallons of water. And then the other spot for this, I'll show you guys this as well. See, again, you can tell like this system has some water in it, that has nothing, that has nothing, that one's full, that one's full, that one's full. And it's almost done. It's very close to being finished, so this one will get turned on probably tomorrow. And then this system here is just going to be a very specialty system. It's going to be basically like a tank full of chromis, a tank full of like Bangai cardinals, and a tank full of something. And then when you get to the end, this is going to be our invert section. These are a little bit smaller tanks. There's going to be 6 of them. We have the other one for this is just sitting next to me. Kind of got the fan there, but it's going to be 6 tanks here. The only one on the entire system that has sand in it is this guy. The reason for it is it's going to house things that like sand. It's going to have some snails that are sand sifting snails. So when they come in, they like to go right through the sand. So we have one tank with sand in it. Again, all going to be the same thing. You know, they all just have drains in them to prevent any fish from going down. They're all 1-inch drains and 1/2-inch returns. These ones here, you can tell, are on the other side. And then the ones on the bottom, we've got just some cheap little egg crate just to put rocks on so that it doesn't hit the glass. These are all, like I said, going to be, so this one is just going to house, and again, this is sort of all made up stuff. You don't, you know, don't quote me on this, but it's all going to house, you know, say cleaner shrimp on one, peppermint shrimp on one, red scarlet hermit crabs on one, blue lake hermits, blah blah blah. So it's just going to be able to, one problem we've always had here is where we keep our cleaner stuff is in our coral tanks. And the issue was, when you look online, it would read that we had X amount of emerald crabs, we'll say, in. It says we have 50, you come into the shop and you want to buy one, and we have to go digging for it, and it can take a very long time. So that was sort of the way to make it easier on us to find it, and certainly make it easier on you guys for having to sit around waiting for it. So that's sort of the mentality behind why we did that. And again, the lighting is much better on that. The flow is going to be much better. The turnover is going to be much better. We're going to get the water to go through the sump a lot better, which is going to make for cleaning the tank easier. It's going to make for disease easier. It's going to make for maintenance easier, and blah, blah, blah. All of the fun stuff that we all know and love with keeping a reef tank. So that is just a very sort of quick update video to that. I had shown you guys before sort of just the stands, just the setup. We didn't actually get to having tanks there yet. So I wanted to give you guys just kind of another step beyond it. And the next video we do will actually be the entire thing running. And God forbid, maybe we'll stick some fish in it. So I think we've got fish coming in 8 days. The first system is already kind of good to go. We had water and media ready for it. We also have water and media ready for the end system, the invert section. So those will be the very first those will be the first thing we get stuff in. And then as we are going with those, we will also be able to cycle the other tanks that we have ready there. So, yeah. So if you guys want to follow along the progress of this, I would say the next video for that will be about 2 weeks, possibly 3 weeks, in that range. We are going to try to keep up with a salt and a fresh every week. The last handful of videos have been on freshwater. So we have some fragging videos coming up, just to show you how we frag some, some very simple zoas, some very simple Euphyllia, some very simple mushrooms. Just something, if you have a saw, anyone can do, and then we're going to show you some stuff that literally anyone can do. Fragging zoas is very simple, especially the ones that we're going to show you. They're kind of big rocks. They're very simple to do. So, but yeah, we do have a couple of different videos coming up on the saltwater side as well, and we do have a nice video on a couple of additions to the freshwater 1,300 gallon tank that we've got, and then I also have a video with a couple of giveaways for you guys as well. So, so there you go. So if you guys do like these videos, if you want to follow along, make sure you subscribe. Give us a like down there as well. It does help get the stuff flowing through YouTube. We do very much appreciate it, and we will see you soon.